It took a year before he agreed to talk to Tippin. He then explained that Dolly wanted him to kill his wife. He gave Ware $30,000 in cash and told him he didn't care how Ware did it, but he wanted her gone.
Avoid that, to wake her up.
At first, Tippin couldn't understand why Ware would implicate himself in Joe and Dolly's murder like this. As it turned out, he had a watertight alibi. On the morning Joe and Dolly was murdered, he was locked up in Chino State Prison. Tippin's most promising lead disappeared right before his eyes. Then, on the last day of February 1994, Detective Paul Tippin received a call that he'd been waiting for 3 years. In the time since Joe and Dolly's murder, DNA analysis technology had been refined enormously. A new technique allowed even a tiny pinpoint of genetic material to be analysed. Now the lab could accurately test only a portion of the foreign matter found under Joe and Dolly's nails without the risk of ruining the entire DNA sample. The lab's new testing technology, called PCR, for polymerase chain reaction, encourages the DNA to carry out its natural function, continuous duplication. A carefully controlled environment of chemicals and heat works like a genetic copying machine. Colin Yarauchi is a criminalist with the LAPD Crime Lab DNA unit.
We can start with a small sample and put it in this instrument that made hundreds and then thousands and then hundreds of thousands and millions of copies of that same DNA. So it was kind of an exciting time in forensic serology when PCR came online and we were able to utilize this technology.
With PCR, an immeasurable amount of DNA can be cultivated into a testable sample. The procedure was performed on a portion of material taken from beneath Joe and Dolly's fingernails, then compared with DNA from her blood. It didn't.
This is called heavy and light.
Someone else's cells were under Joe and Dolly's.
Pre-exhaust the muscle with one weight and then you use a lighter weight.
Dennis Dolly's genetic material was then tested against the sample from his wife's nails. It came back negative. By this time, Brandita Taliani was in prison for an unrelated crime. A warrant was issued and a blood sample obtained. This time, Tippin made his match. Brandita Taliano murdered.
I train light because I'm trying to lose weight.
Tippin still wasn't convinced that Taliano had acted alone. Dennis Dolly's knowledge of the stolen jewellery, his attempt to hire a hitman, and a long string of incriminating phone records before the crime implicated him in the murder.
I believe truly that they were both in it, they were both involved in it, they were both there when it happened.
The jury agreed that Dennis
There you go, something to keep me amused.
Conspired and murdered Joan Dolly. Nearly 4 years after her death, her killers...
Since I've been on lockdown since February. Well, that's all for today, folks.